non-conference schedule rolls along as we enter week 2 of Football Friday for the 2022 season. 3 of our teams hoping to begin the year with a 2-0 record, while the other 3 look for their first win of the fall campaign. It's a beautiful night for football, so let's get right to the highlights. One of the most anticipated matchups of the week features Naperville North traveling to Glenbard North. The Panthers took down the Huskies in a thriller a year ago, as both of these former conference rivals entered the night at 1-0. Early in the game, Aiden Gray throws a quick screen to sophomore receiver Brock Pettaway, who gets a nice block from Luke Pettaway and sprints down the sidelines. 40 yards later, and Naperville North has a 7-0 lead. Late in the third quarter, the Huskies again using the up-tempo running game to great effect as Nathan Jacobs takes the handoff and powers his way into the end zone, 21-7 Naperville North. On the first play of the fourth quarter, Glenbard North knocking on the door. Justin Bland throws a jump ball to Zamari Robinson, but Husky defensive back William Karosik finds the ball and makes a great one-handed catch as Robinson never turns back for the ball. The flags come in for pass interference, but the call goes against Robinson, and the interception will stand for Karosik and Naperville North. On the ensuing drive, yet another Huskies running back finding success on the ground. Junior Cole Arl shakes a few tackles and stays in bounds down the sideline. He goes 67 yards to pay dirt as Naperville North picks up a second straight impressive victory and now stands at 2-0. Neuqua Valley back in town for the home opener against Wheaton Warrenville South. The Wildcats were big winners over Oswego in week 1, while the Tigers hope to rebound after blowing a double-digit lead to Simeon to begin their season. Just before the end of the first half, both teams struggling to get the offense going. Mark Meneke takes the ball himself, makes a cut near the 5-yard line, and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Neuqua Valley takes a 7-0 lead into the break, but as you can see, Meneke goes down with an ankle injury. He would briefly return before being replaced by Ryan Moeller for the rest of the game. In the third quarter, the Tigers even things up with a short pass that turns into a 44-yard touchdown from Dacian Riley. Eventually, this game heads to overtime tied at 7. The Wildcat defense was strong all night, and they step up to stop Wheaton South on third down to force a field goal. Neuqua Valley can now tie the game with a field goal of their own or win it with a touchdown. On the second play for Neuqua, Ryan Moeller bobbles the snap and rushes the toss to Jaden McGee, but it's wide of the mark. The Tigers pounce on the ball, and that ends the game. A deflating loss for the Wildcats, who hope to get healthy and bounce back next week against St. Mary's from Missouri. Metea Valley with a very tough road test for a second straight week, traveling to Lockport to face the defending 8A state champions. The Mustangs have struggled with special teams miscues this season. Here the Porters block a punt, which eventually leads to a Lockport touchdown. In the second half, Hyatt Timosiak hauls in a jump ball from Drew Gallagher and fights his way into the end zone. Lockport with a commanding lead. Into the fourth quarter, the Mustangs get another nice connection from Noah Larson to Robert Lynch. Lynch with 3 touchdown catches already this season, but it's too little too late for Metea in this one. Lockport moves to 2-0 after a 44-10 win. Naperville Central feeling good after a big Week 1 victory over Hinsdale Central. The Redhawks travel to Plainfield North with the hopes of remaining unbeaten against the tough Tigers squad. Early in the game, Plainfield North backed up deep, and the Redhawks defensive lineman Maverick Oley makes a great play to get the sack for a safety to open up the scoring. Central down 6-2 in the third when quarterback Chris McCormack finds a streaking Tyler Dodd, who breaks into the open field. He goes all the way 80 yards for the touchdown, 9-6 Naperville Central after 3 quarters. Plainfield North now leading 13-9 late in the fourth when Chris McCormack forces a throw under pressure. Nigel Green steps in front and takes the ball the other way. He moves down the field looking for blocks and avoiding defenders, and 90 yards later the Tigers have the game-clinching touchdown, going on to win by the score of 19-9 over Naperville Central. Waubonsie Valley ready for the home opener against St. Charles East. Celebrating senior night, the Warriors are eager to bounce back after dropping the opener to Oswego East. Waubonsie gets off to a strong start in this one as quarterback Luke Elsey finds Brady Teeple in the open field. Teeple makes a man miss and finds the end zone from 30 yards out to put W on top 7-0. Into the second half, the Saints trailing 7-3. Lane Robinson to a sliding Mason Toussaint as St. Charles East jumps in front 10-7. Last chance for Waubonsie Valley late in the fourth quarter. Luke Elsey looking for Brady Teeple once again, but the ball slips through his hands and falls incomplete. St. Charles East hangs on for the road victory in a tight matchup. Bennett Academy with a home game for the second straight week, but this time the Red Wings are playing a little closer to home at Benedictine University. The Wings welcome Moline, making the trip from the Quad Cities. The Maroons enter at 1-0 after a win over St. Lawrence to start the year. The Red Wings strike first as quarterback Jake Hopel rolls out and hits junior Patrick Patello in the end zone to put Bennett on top 6-0. But Moline has a response on this beautiful throw and catch from Grant Sibley to Chase Stevens to put the Maroons on top 7-6 in the early going. Bennett still trailing 13-9 in the second half when running back Michael Lawler gets the handoff. He makes a nice cut through the line. The senior picks up some nice downfield blocking from Pierce Walsh and weaves 60 yards into the end zone to put BA on top 17-13. Final minute of the game, Moline trailing 24-21, fourth and long for the Maroons as Grant Sibley heaves a prayer towards the end zone. The ball sails too far and falls incomplete as the Red Wings are able to hang on for the 24-21 win, evening their record on the season at 1-1. Time to take a look at the DVC standings after 2 weeks. Only one team stands on top of the conference without a defeat, and that is Naperville North. DeKalb moves into a tie for second place at 1-1 after a dominating win over Plainfield South. Notre Dame is the lone 2-0 team in the CCL ESCC Green Division after a win over St. Patrick. St. Rita wins this week over Brother Rice, while Nazareth lost a close contest to Lamont. Next week, we wrap up the non-con portion of the schedule as several out-of-state opponents come to town. Waubonsie Valley welcomes O'Fallon, while Metea Valley has Belleville East visiting for the home opener, with both teams in search of win number 1. Meanwhile, the CCL ESCC Green Division continues to play other CCL ESCC teams from different divisions as Bennett Academy will host Brother Rice. St. Rita with another tough matchup against Loyola. Week 2 is in the books, but still a long way to go for the 2022 football season. Plenty of exciting matchups just around the corner, and we'll be right back here next week for another edition of Football Friday. I'm Justin Cornwell. Thanks for watching.